Hello everyone! In this video we're going to draw a capybara. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. To the right, draw another circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. Draw this circle about 1.5 times the size of the first circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. On the top left side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle as well. Make this circle about half the size of the first circle. On the left side of the head circle, make a small mark for the first part of the muzzle. Connect the small mark to the head circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. This guide should be similar to an arc on its side. Make the sides of the arc a bit flat. On the top right side of the head, draw a small arc as a guide for the ear. Under the first circle, draw a long vertical line as a guide for the front leg. Bend the line a couple of times to indicate the joint and the foot. Under the circle on the right, draw a long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend the line a few times to indicate the joints and the foot. Connect the head to the body using sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. The shape of the neck should be wide. Connect the circles in the middle to finish the guide for the torso. Make the lines curved for a round torso. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small oval for the eye. Place the eye near the top edge of the head. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Draw a small thin shape along the top of the eye for the eyelashes. Darken the bottom part of the oval. Draw a curved line around the eye to emphasize the shape. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a small circle and shade it in for the pupil. Make the shape around the eye dark and the eyelashes light. Shade in the rest of the eye. Use a value that's lighter than the pupil to shade the eye. Don't overlap the tiny highlight circle as you shade. Near the front of the muzzle, draw a small curved shape for the nostril. Add a small line at the bottom for a crease. Shade the nostril using a dark value. Draw a few lines on the right side of the nostril for fur. Use the initial arc as a guide to draw the rest of the muzzle. Darken the left side of the arc to create the front part of the muzzle. At the bottom, curve the line to the right to create the mouth. Use a series of short strokes as you draw the mouth for a furry texture. Don't make the mouth too long. Follow the path of the initial arc to draw the top part of the muzzle. Under the mouth, draw a curved line that's made up of short strokes for the furry chin. Darken the arc on top of the head to create the ear, but make the shape wavier. Add short strokes at the bottom for the furry base of the ear. Draw a couple of curved lines inside the shape for the ear's opening. To the left, draw a small curved line for the other ear. Use the initial shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the head. Darken the outer edges of the guides using short strokes to create the furry shape of the head. Make the top of the head flatter than the initial circle. Use short strokes for a furry texture. Leave a few gaps as you draw the right side of the head. Add more short strokes around the eye and on the muzzle to emphasize the fur. Use the line that's under the body on the left side as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. At the bottom, curve the shape to the left to create the foot. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Use short strokes along the right side to create a furry texture. At the bottom, draw a few small thin shapes for the toes. Make the toes pointier at the tips. Not all 4 toes will be visible from this angle. Draw a small curved line on the tip of each toe for the nails. To the left, draw a similar shape for the other front leg. Use the first leg as a template as you draw this leg. Only the front part of the leg and toes will be visible from this angle. Use the angled line on the right as a guide to draw the hind leg the same way. First, lightly sketch the shape of the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. When you get the shape of the hind leg right, darken the lines. At the bottom, curve the shape to the left to create the foot. Draw a few small thin shapes at the bottom for the toes. To the left, draw the other hind leg the same way. Most of this leg will be hidden behind the first hind leg, so only draw the visible section. Now use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Use short strokes along the underside of the body to create a furry texture. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you draw the underside. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Use a medium value all over the body. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. As you shade, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur. The fur mainly has a horizontal and diagonal orientation. As you shade, separate each stroke a bit so that the white of the paper comes through and creates a furrier texture. Don't worry about shading too smoothly. A rough value will create more texture on the fur. Use a darker value throughout the body to create some shadows. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Shading can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the capybara. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.